everybody. Welcome to episode 1180 of FloWrestling Radio, live from Austin, Texas. Big show for you today. To the right, filling in for JD, is David B. Hello, David B. Hey, welcome, Mr. B-Bag. To the left, Andrew Spey. He's here in his pretty green Nike shoes. And to the left, America's side piece, Father John Kozak. Biceps are looking good.
Yeah, stronger than ever.
What'd the doctor say?
They said I'm clear to go.
You're good to go?
Oh yeah, full throttle, baby.
All right.
They tried to euthanize me yesterday. I said no.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, kind of.
So they're gonna get, it was about to be over.
They tried to put me under. I said I'm coming back out.
He came back out.
Mm-hmm.
They wrote him off.
Ever.
Kozak didn't write back.
Yeah.
Glad things worked out that way and not the other way.
Yep. The hole in my heart, it's just real tiny.
Your heart's tiny?
No, the hole.
You really have a hole in your
Little
heart?
heart. Like 1 out of 3 people do.
Really?
Yeah.
So probably one. So technically, one of us has a hole in our heart.
Technically.
Well, John,
He doesn't have a spleen, right? No, gallbladder.
yeah.
Which one
Spleen,
of
I
us?
believe, is still there.
Spleen can go though.
Which
Yeah,
one of
we
us
can
is
figure
most
it out.
likely to have the hole? You think?
Head like a hole.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
It's tough to say.
We'll figure that out later.
All right, so today's show, we got a lot to get into. JD and I, of course, did a rapid-fire National Duals recap. Plenty more to get into on the National Duals front with you guys. And there's plenty of things that came to light after an incredible weekend of wrestling. We're going to talk a little bit about the upcoming week. PJ Duke's Penn State debut is going to be going down this weekend as well. David Bray, where should we start?
I think there's no better place to start than the Buckeyes because Ohio State, what they did at that tournament, very noteworthy. I mean, it wasn't just they won, it was the way they won, and not just the team score, the individual matches and the way that they were putting points on the board. After a weekend of Buckeye dominance, what do we think about their performance, and what do we think about the end of the season? How good can this team be?
Well, I think the updated tournament rankings kind of reflect how good this Ohio State team could be. What was their jump, Kozak, from like 5th to 2nd or 4th to 2nd?
It was huge. I'll pull it up right now.
So they made a big jump. And what stood out for the Buckeyes were their lightweights.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it felt like every duel they were shot out of a cannon, and every team was like struggling to wrestle their way back. And the back half of the Buckeyes team is really, really good as well. They were the story of day one, and you're like, okay, can they, day to day, match to match, teams can have variance. Like, all right, they could do this again. And they blitzed Nebraska in a major way. And then really that match was kind of over with Iowa after 133. You're like, the path back is basically non-existent now. And you can't be anything but impressed with that performance. And it's not just, how well the team wrestled, but they have some individuals that we're looking at very differently right now. Nick Bouzakis, you look at differently. Ben Davino, you look at very differently. Brandon Cannon, you look at very differently. I mean, this is a guy that bonused everyone. He majored national champion Antrail Taylor. Ben Davino dominates Drake Ayala. When's the last time we saw Drake beaten like that?
His freshman year, maybe?
Freshman year?
Yeah, I mean, that guy does not give up 3 takedowns in a match.
He did get pinned by Lucas Bird last year.
True.
But that was, I think, scoreless, and then he got pinned.
Mm-hmm.
So that's up there. Lucas Bird's a national champion. It was a really, really impressive performance by the Buckeyes. I think, JD mentioned this, like Tom Ryan set the tone in that press conference saying, we are coming to win. If you're dinged up, you're going. This is important. We're trying to win. And they went after it in a big way and got it done.
Yeah. I think it's some of the new faces in that lineup. I mean, they were already a very strong team, but then you bring in a transfer, Ethan Styles. He looked great.
Yeah.
The slide down of Bouzakis to 125 opens up 33 for Davino. And now just those 2 moves right there, it's like 3 new guys in there or, in new weights. And it gives them a lot more firepower to what was already a strong team. And there's still a couple question marks. 125, they still have Brandon McCrone. 97, you have Geog and Shoemate. So this is a deep team. They've got some extra horsepower that they still have to figure out how to deal with the lineup there. But it's a good problem to have, and you don't see any holes. And when they're performing well, you got a Jesse Mendez looking for his 3rd national championship. You got a lot of strong guys.
So they went from 8th place to 2nd.
Wow.
51 points to 97. So they almost doubled their projected point total. But I think the caveat to that is, and I had a friend text me this morning who's an Ohio State fan, and he goes, "I'm mad at you about the rankings." And I said, "Well, why?" He goes, "The only place they can go is down now." Because it's kind of like this is their, maybe their peak.
Did you tell them that they could actually go up to 1?
I didn't say that.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I think there's a lot of. How about how sneakily mortal Penn State looks with 118 points?
Yeah.
But why is that, John?
Well, first of all, PJ Duke is not ranked. Nobody's ranked at.
So you remove K-Sac.
We removed K-Sac, who he would have been number 1 at this point, because Ty Waters is number 1 now at 157. So we removed him out because Kale basically said he's redshirting, and PJ Duke doesn't have any rankable data. So they're not getting any points at 157. And Marcus Blaze is ranked like 9th right now, 10th maybe. So they're not getting really much at 133 either.
So they're going to widen their gap.
It feels like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because 9th is like 1.5 theoretical points or something.
Yeah.
2 for round of 12. So yeah, they're gonna move up a little bit. But yeah, Ohio State did a fantastic job and really great, deserving first champions, and was kind of like what makes it cool. They were the 3 seed, right? The Hawks were the 1 seed, but that very well could have been the 4 versus the 3, and kind of as we predicted, and this could have definitely gone a lot of different directions. And yeah, Ohio State, you're champions.
The thing I really appreciated about watching Ohio State, and I got to call a couple of their duels, the things you want to see out of a team, like as a team approach, you want to see a lot of attacks, you want to see a lot of offense, and Ohio State had that from top to bottom. Yeah. I mean, even guys like Patty Gallagher is not necessarily known for his offense. He was, I mean, his attack rate, his forward pressure, the things that he was doing throughout those dual meets was impressive. We already talked about it, but Ben DeVino, 3 takedowns against Drake Ayala. That's crazy. Like, that is insane. Brandon Cannon, offense all the time. So you want to see that, and they had it. The other thing you want to see is when it's a really, really close match, like, are they clutch? Can they just win? Nick Feldman, right? Yeah. Getting that done. And even, I mean, this, even in a loss, like the way Fishback looked against McAnally, it was like, all right, this guy is locked in from start to finish. And I was impressed with them from the offensive output, and then also just like their level of focus from beginning to end. And that's what got Mendez the win over Brock Hardy, was just not one single lapse in focus.
Right.
And I just feel like they're really locked in right now, and it's a long season. Can they maintain that? We'll see. But everything they showed at the National Duals was what you want to see.
Yeah, there's a lot of anytime you see performances like this, they're like, okay, can they do this in March? Well, the thing is, they're at this level wrestling-wise. So it's just the science of peaking that would be in their way. This is not a team that is just by happenstance risen to number 2 in the rankings. They are on this level. It's up to the staff and the guys to perform at the national tournament, but there's no doubt that they have a very capable team that could get very high on the podium. And I think, we haven't talked enough maybe about Jesse Mendez. His performance in the finals was unbelievable against Nasir Bailey. Much like as dominant as you can really be in a match against a high-quality opponent. That was great from Jesse.
JD did a little reel where he said who's winning the Hodge, and I threw out Jesse Mendez on there, and then a lot of comments were saying, no, it's going to be Mitchell. Jesse doesn't do enough bonus point wins. He's not going to be enough for the Hodge criteria, but he went out there and he bonused an All-American. So
there you go.
So maybe the real winner of National Duels, Spay.
Well, yes, with my prediction.
Yeah.
Space predictions.
Predictions.
Predictions. Excuse me.
Cool.
Yeah, incredible stuff. Anytime the Hawkeyes compete, people, they're going to evaluate. Did it go the way they wanted to? Now, on the one hand, they beat Oklahoma State in the semifinals, but then Ohio State 6 matches to 4, and some domination early in the lower weights. What do we make of the Hawkeyes coming out of this weekend?
Yeah, I think always on these big weekends, I try to bring like a little bit of like balance, right? There's a lot of worry from Iowa. There's people that are partying on Iowa a little bit if you don't like the Hawkeyes. And if you are an Iowa fan, maybe you're a little nervous. Man, we just got boat raced by Ohio State. But 6-4, as you mentioned, and a guy that's 3-0 against your heavyweight didn't wrestle. So then we're looking at 5-5. So now we're just talking about bonus on the one hand. So as ugly as it was in the beginning, I don't think there's cause for tons of concern. However, Nasir Bailey doesn't look like a top 5 guy right now. He lost to Vega. He lost to Mendez soundly. So still trying to figure out where he is. Jordan Williams.
MIA.
On day 2 he was.
Yeah.
So he loses to Kanan Webster soundly, and then we don't see him again. Injury or just coach's decision to wrestle Victor or kind of preserving him. We don't know. But he wasn't there. He didn't wrestle. Concern there. Drake Ayala, no concern. Maybe Ben Davino is better than him. It's certainly that is the case as of November 16th. But I'm not thinking, well, maybe Drake's going to be fighting to place or anything like that. I think he'll have better days. He lost to Tyler Knox last year. He made the NCAA finals. Better days coming for Drake. He couldn't get any offense off. Now, I give credit to Ben for that, but that was because the day before, Bird beat him, but he's on the match-winning single leg standing in the third period. So, not a great week. I don't think Drake should be like, this was a great weekend of wrestling for me, but there's no panic button for Drake. 125, Dean Peterson, I don't know what to make of. Bradley beat him the whole match, but then he gets this crazy go behind at the end. I couldn't believe
that was wild.
Bradley gave that up.
Yeah.
He had the leg locked out. I don't know if he just thought, instead of finishing, let me just hold on. He'd have been better off just letting go altogether. That was just a weird conclusion there. But then Buzakis, just He-Man strength.
It's scary to think Buzakis at 125 with the strength that he's had. Like, he is a powerful man.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. So, concerns there. But on the plus side, and I talked about this Sunday night, Masoma and Dean. This is someone I was not sure about. I said, this guy has, because there are a lot of wrestlers who coming into their first year of college competition, I've been watching them against the best high school kids, sometimes the best college kids in freestyle, the Marcus Blazes, the PJ Dukes, you just know. So there's a reason to think these guys with no Division I track record are going to be really good. And Dean had no Division I track record. He was a guy who, coming out of high school, he's an incredible story. He's 5th in the state of Texas as a senior, JUCO finalist, 3-time D3 champion, but still no Division I track record. And last, to my freestyle point, he lost to 2 Division I backups this spring. So I'm like, I'm very much wait and see, or this could go not well. He had a 3-0 win over Bellarmine. And then whether it was just getting that pin over Bates or not in Missouri, he was just a force from then on. And he's not just, you think of him as like an unpolished diamond. No, this guy's got like savvy and moxie and like went after it and got against Cody Merrill. And that's to me, like, this guy steps into the biggest wrestling rivalry in the world and gets a win while losing to win the match for your team. Like, that's incredible. And I was wrong about Indine. And so now the question is with Indine, well, how good is this guy? Like, all right, right now he's ranked what, like 8th or something, John?
Yeah, 8th or 9th.
So All-American caliber now, but how high can this guy go?
8th.
And as you pull up these rankings, it's like, okay, Josh Bard, probably not there. Can you pull him up?
No, there's no way to do that.
Okay.
I got it right now.
All right.
Look at that.
So can he beat Max Dow? Can he beat Bennett, Berge, Novak? I think those are winnable matches. Can he get into the top 4? At this point, I'm not writing it off. I think it's a possibility. I think what he can do on his feet is great. He was more than competent underneath, and it would seem like he's only going to get better as he gets more mat time. I think Iowa was a great choice for quickly getting up to speed for college wrestling, intensity and rigor. And right now, the Hawks look like geniuses landing this guy.
Well, and you look at like the bottom half of 197. It's like, okay, who's gonna jump him? Who could give him a hard time? And I think after what we saw this weekend, he's kind of established himself as that All-American tier level guy.
Yeah, no question about it. Very impressive, very impressive. So I think for everyone, you leave a tournament like this, it's a mixed bag.
Mm-hmm.
Even Nebraska, like people are like, man, are they? And I sort of tempered Nebraska expectations for this year. Not that they weren't good. They have a really, really good team that could get second again. But this is a team that's kind of notorious for ups and downs. They lost 24-9 to UNI last year, okay? And they got second in the national tournament. This happens. And so Nebraska, normally, once you lose to Ohio State, like, okay, you would just wrestle Ohio State and then, all right, that's the duel you react to. But then because National Duals Invitational is so awesome, you have to wrestle again. And so you have the same bad day twice to Ohio State and then Oklahoma State.
Yeah. What was so great about this format, the dual format, is I saw somebody else mention this on Twitter. I forget who. But if you have one of the top seeds, if you're Antrell Taylor, not to pick on him, but just to use as an example, if you lose somewhere in the top side of the bracket, you're kind of out of the picture right there. And then
Maybe you just forfeit out too.
Yeah, what happens on the bottom side? But with this, it's like, no, you're getting the next team no matter what. You're getting their starter. You're getting their best guy because everybody's trying to win the $200,000 that was on the line for first. So it really created an environment where you got some of the best matchups, and there's no, like, it's happening. Guys still didn't always take the mat or whatever, but you basically knew you were getting these matchups.
Yes.
It's funny, like Nebraska pretty much just swapped spots with Ohio State, and that shows you really the parity in that 2 through 7, 8 range teams, where Nebraska had the tournament of their life in March, and Ohio State had an awesome tournament in November. And so it's like it kind of sets the stage for this year. It's like we know that battle for second place. It's kind of like what Chal has been, has been preaching. It's like, the battle for second place or whatever. But it really does feel like any of those teams, if they, just wrestle out of their minds, they can take second.
Yeah. And just just the tournament itself, I think that bears a segment all its own. Just how great this tournament was. And really, this is something that has been theorized and discussed and what we got, and the coaches couldn't make this happen. Governing body leadership couldn't make this happen. The media couldn't make it. Flow Sports couldn't make this happen. It took a guy, Chad Richardson and Paycom, to say, no, we're going to do this. And they didn't just stroke a check and move on and say, hey, we're helping wrestling. Like the level of, and we're lucky enough that we got to work really closely with all of them at Paycom. This tournament was run as smooth as the NCAA, as the Big Ten, as the best in class tournaments. And we go to tournaments year round, and some of them they're not run well, and they go long, and the plans change. And this thing from start to finish was an operational masterpiece, which online, maybe you don't notice as much, but I'm telling you, the teams notice it. The fans there noticed it and experienced it. And this is just nothing but a massive gift to wrestling. Like, they don't have to do this. They don't have to put something this awesome on. And it was not just, that's what you feel, the love of wrestling with this group and with Chad. And the amount of pride that they put in it, it's amazing, and it helped the sport. And I think to have a year one, they've never done this.
Yeah, this is out of the gate.
This is out of the gate. They nailed it. No notes, right? And so I think everyone saw it, and now I feel like it's gonna be one of those events that becomes, you got to go to this one. It's one of the ones like, you're highlighting this. Okay, next November we're going, and I think it's going to be that for years to come. It really was the best. I mean, I'm talking to the classic Lehigh fans at the ice cream shop afterwards, and these are the guys that stand up. If you've been to 50 straight, these are the guys that are standing up, right? They've been to all, they see it all, and they said, "This is the best thing. This is the best event we've been to."
Did you get deja vu going in because Tulsa, the same BOK Center, had NCAAs in 23, and it's like, we're back at NCAAs. This is November, but this is the hallway, this is the setup, this
100%.
is the arena, the stands.
Yeah, absolutely. It was big time, and I thought it was a really strong crowd, and really for the finals, there was concern because Oklahoma State's not in the finals. What's it going to be? But it was really solid, and I think it's only going to grow, and literally only going to grow. All the money made is being reinvested back into the prize pool. And we had an FRL question, like, what does this kind of money mean to a program, Rick? $200,000. Just so you guys understand, like, because I wouldn't if I didn't talk to these coaches routinely. But you take a top 10 program, just whoever, or a Big Ten program, $200,000 is like an entire operating budget for the program or more. There's top 10 teams whose operating budget are $140,000 to run their team. That's not salaries or scholarships. Salaries and scholarships for a team like that is like $600,000 or $700,000. So you're talking about a third of an operating budget for some, or an entire one. So maybe that's a little like granular and nuanced, but it is significant. So $20,000 just to be in the event, you're talking about 20% of an entire college team's operating budget. It's real money. It's impactful money, and how it gets used, that's kind of a program by program decision, but it is something that really helps wrestling.
Anytime somebody donates money to the sport of wrestling, that's generous and that's incredible, and it makes a difference. And donors everywhere should be applauded for their donation. But in this instance, with Chad Richardson and Paycom, it wasn't just the money. I mean, it was their the pride they put into running something. It was their expertise. You can tell, like, this is a company that's become a big company for a reason, because there are people that know what they're doing. They're organized. They're trying to make this thing as excellent as it can be. And so that was the really cool thing to kind of see on the ground, was like, yeah, the $1 million purse and then the reinvestment, like that money part's cool, but it's also, we care about this being as good as possible. Yeah. And we're locking that in as well. And so now you have really like two gifts at the same time, right? It's an incredible event where wrestling fans get to watch all this, great wrestling happen. And then the money is a huge part of it too. So that was really cool to see on the ground. Is like, it's a gift to wrestling. It's a gift to these programs. And we all really get to benefit from it.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah. Wrestling's just the beneficiary. So
you nailed it. People that care. I mean, that's the most important thing. You're not going to have any of this stuff. You're not going to have the sport if people don't care. And then to see the level of execution and the amount of dedication to pulling off an event like that on year one was pretty awesome.
Hey, here's a question. Oh, sorry.
Well, I was just going to say another point about the money coming in for the funds that people may not be 100, thinking about all the time. But every sport is competing within their school for the AD's recognition, for them to be elevated, and for money coming in. Not a lot of teams, different sports, can say that. I don't know how much the tennis team is making doing whatever. I don't know how much track and field is bringing in. So when the wrestling coach can say, hey, we're one of these programs that gets invited to this kind of event and are bringing in some money, and at the very least it's getting paid for with the $20,000 to show, I think ADs are going to look at that and say, all right, this is, our wrestling team's really getting somewhere.
I thought you were going to say, you take that money, you invest it real estate, No,
that's one thing you could do. I have 401k, set it and forget it.
No, but here's the question I'm going to ask. Do you think that we need, that this tournament, this experience makes it to where you think we need a sanctioned NCAA wrestling dual meet, or do you think it's better that it runs on its own as like just a fun event?
Yeah, so I had a whole part of the show I wanted to kind of talk about this, because last week I was like, man, there's a lot of discussion about Penn State and them not being involved in it, right? And I just didn't want to do that I thought this tournament's too good to focus on the one team that's not there. And
it was.
Yeah. Right? It was literally the best thing in wrestling. It's the best tournament. It's the best event we have outside of the national tournament. And in some ways, it's more special. But, all right, so I'll talk about Penn State because I'm going to get to your question precisely. So, Coach Cale Sanderson, there's a couple things going on there. One, he's made it. We knew last year. He basically said we're not coming to this, right? We're not going to be there. And in subsequent follow-up discussions about national duels, he has made it very clear he does not want an NCAA sanctioned team event. He does not want the team champion to be determined by a dual meet tournament like we just saw. And I believe he kind of thinks, now I'm not putting words in his mouth, but I think the jump there is that he thinks if they're involved in this, it creates momentum for that. I think that is not the case. I don't think if Penn State goes, they're going to say, oh, okay, the NCAA is going to say, all right, we need to do this. I think I understand Cale's, I call it paranoia because I understand paranoia too. I deal with it. And like, is that rooted in reality? I don't think so. But let's not forget, and some of you may not know, like 12 years ago, they kind of tried to sneak it in. Last day of the convention, everyone was gone. Nobody knew.
I don't think anybody knows about
Nobody knows. Maybe no one knows about this. This is a flow film in itself, but we won't do it. But they tried to sneak it in and make it so there was the dual championship. And no one really knew about it. And they did the vote on the last day of the convention when no one's there. Believe me, no one's there. And they didn't know that they were going to talk about it. And they had this vote. And Penn State, Cale Sanderson, Iowa, Tom Brands vehemently against it. Then this is like 2012. I think this was right before I started working at Flow. It was a big thing.
It was going to be a component.
Yeah, a component.
Add the dual meet championship, score points with that, and then those points would carry over to the individual championship the way it is now.
Yes. So they were vehemently against that, and I think Cale is wary. I mean, it's like, I call it paranoia, but it's like, well, hey, frickin' they tried to do it 12 years ago, and I don't want this. He doesn't want it. He does not want to change the national tournament, and I'm with him. So I do think that paranoia is a little misplaced, but I do understand it at the same time, right? Two, and more than anything, for Penn State, their schedule has drastically changed since he got there. And the message here is what he's telling you without saying it explicitly is like, for our NCAA season, we don't need added rigor. We have the Big Ten schedule. We have the Big Ten tournament, national tournament, and we'll beat everyone soundly there. We'll see you all there. And if you look back at their previous schedules, they scheduled Virginia Tech non-conference, Oklahoma State non-conference. They even did Iowa non-conference. They used to go to the Southern Scuffle when it had like the top 3 or 4 teams and 7 of the top 10 ranked teams in the country. They used to go to that every single year. They don't go to a tough tournament anymore like they used to, where it would have multiple. They don't.
We'll be at the Blackland Invite this weekend, though.
Yes, they don't schedule the really, really tough out of conference teams anymore. They get tough out of conference, but not top 5, 10 teams. So they're telling you we don't need this to be utterly dominant in the at the end, right? As evidenced by the fact that they've set the team record 2 years running. So they don't need to do it to be excellent. Now, before you say, well, Penn State doesn't want the smoke, it's like, well, you can catch all these dudes at Final X in the World Championships, U20, U23, Senior, U.S. Open, World Team Trials, etc. So you can find them. They're not wary of difficult competition. They've just made a decision. That they don't have to do this.
They're out
Now,
on the streets, just not
they're in
these
the
particular
streets.
streets.
Yeah, they're in the streets. So they've made changes to their schedule. And so they're telling you, like, for us to win a national title, we don't need to do these things. Long-winded answer because I wanted to get to this to begin with. I don't want to see the NCAA pick this up. They're not going to pick this up. I'm talking to leadership. They're like, there's absolutely zero momentum for this on the NCAA side. I don't want it. I want to see the NCAA tournament unchanged. I want to keep this because guess what? If the NCAA says, "Oh, nice tournament, why don't I just pluck and take it?" Well, then you just took the incredible donation and contribution from Paycom out of it. There's not going to be a Paycom NCAA tournament where they pay, right? So this is. I think it would be foolish. I think we're going to have that with this event. I don't think you need to make any changes to it. I actually like the time of year. I think it's great. And no, I don't want to see an NCAA dual tournament. And we got a question about, will Penn State ever be involved? I'm not writing it off. I think some people think never, ever, ever. I'm not there. I think they'll look at it and consider it on a year-to-year basis. And I wouldn't be surprised if at some point Penn State does jump into this. But, not this year. Maybe they wanted to see how it went. And, maybe down the line they throw their hat in the ring. So long-winded answer. I did want to talk Penn State, and those were my thoughts.
I think the individual NCAA championship is a nearly perfect event. So you don't want to mess with that. Mm-hmm. And then this one, I mean, you want to know how excellent this was. I thought one of the most telling anecdotes coming out was Tom Ryan, who coming into the event said, yeah, we're excited about this, except for the date. We don't know if we like that. Maybe it could be a different date. And then in his post-tournament interview, he's like, actually, I think I was wrong. I think this might be the best possible date. I think this is as good as it can be, right?
You know what? Actually, this is perfect.
Winning it makes a difference, but obviously, but also just the experience and how it was run and all this stuff. Like, I think coming out of it, it's like now, the National Duals Invitational will continue to get better. It's the first year, but now we've got these two things that are both almost as good as you can be. And why trade two really, really good things for one? No.
It really also set up so many storylines. I mean, it was early, so you kind of felt that, we're just dipping our toes into the wrestling season. We're just getting warmed up to wrestling being back and, the season only being 3 weeks in. And now what this event did was made every other dual meet that much more exciting. The storylines that were generated from this event only served to make everything more interesting going on from here. It completely rearranged the settings, the table for the entire year. And, Penn State not being there, that's part of that storyline. That's part of, okay, well, we haven't seen them there, but we have seen a lot of the other top teams. Iowa State not being there. Well, we're going to see them at CKLV. Now we see how that happens there. And, all the dual meets as they show up. Iowa, Oklahoma State is going to be that much bigger. Everything gets amped up.
Yeah, the Iowa Oklahoma State is going to be more exciting now because now it's like, okay, they're going to go to Stillwater, and how can that's a dual meet that there's so many little things that swing that for Oklahoma State, and there's things that would have swung it more for Iowa. I mean, that was as good a duel as I've ever seen. Yeah. Right? It was up there. The reason it can't get like goated dual status is no heavyweight match. But man, it felt like every match was insane or intense or fight. It was just everything that makes duels cool was in that event.
Now, one of the things that made that Iowa-Oklahoma State duel really interesting, I think, was Oklahoma State's lineup and some of the decisions they made. And so, coming out of that event as a whole, I think Oklahoma State's lineup is a really interesting topic. You think about 133. They've got an NCAA champion there, but Ronnie Ramirez looked good. There's rumors about Jax Forrest. Oklahoma State's lineup coming out of the event, what do we think?
I think, addressing the Jax thing, I would say, because we got a question about that, I think anyone that's saying that there's a decision been made there is talking out of turn. It's not the case. There's no decision made at this point. The one thing that is true, and I can see how maybe you could say, or why someone would say, yeah, he's going next year, because he is going to go to Stillwater second semester. That's happening. Is Jax Forrest wrestling for the Cowboys is not a decision that's been made for this year. If you had to ask me, I don't think we see it. But yeah, he's going to go to Stillwater in the second semester. That's
Sometimes with these rumors, you got to take a step back and see the Jax Forrest of the trees.
That's
going it.
profound.
Do you think?
Sometimes I wish the show wasn't live.
Do you think that Jax should wrestle for Oklahoma State second semester? Like, do you think he should be the starter at 133 this year?
I do not. And I think, listen, I do think if he puts them over the edge to win a team title, yes, he does not. He does not put them over the edge to win a team title. They just have too many weights where, they're not bad anywhere, but I just don't think they're going to get the contribution they need. And how good is Ronnie Ramirez? That's a fair question. Went to overtime with Drake Ayala. He beat Zach Redding. And I think, and more than anything, you have precious years with Jax Forrest on your wrestling team. Don't you want all of them? Don't you want 4 entire years, or 5 if 5 for 5 comes through? Don't you want 4 entire years of Jax Forrest? Don't you want Jax Forrest wrestling in the National Duals Invitational 4 times? Because if he was there this year, maybe he beats Drake and then Oklahoma State's in the final. Like, he could swing that. And maybe he beats Ben DeVino. And,
Yeah, it feels like there's no reason to, ring that bell when you can't unring it. And
I think him coming to Stillwater has been in the works for a while, because if you are close and you could get over the top, this is zero inside information. I think you want him there in case it's a switch you want to flip and say, we can win a title if you're on this team. I don't think they're quite there. I love the move. I love the excitement that something like this could bring. It's going to happen at some point. I think one of these teams are going to do it, reclassify and have a kid go. But I don't think it's the move for this year. And, but, I'm not going to say it's not a possibility. It is a possibility.
Yeah. It's pretty cool that we're talking about it, because, is there a high school kid that has been that ready? And now there's obviously...
There's a bunch.
There's a bunch of guys that are right there. And, do we see that move in the future? Likely at some point. But the fact that this is a thing, this is on the table, is cool.
But I think more than anything, if you're asking me Oklahoma State lineup, I just don't think we see much more Richard Figueroa.
Yeah.
I mean, 7 minutes is not working. Losing to Tyler Ferreira. Ronnie comes in. Just feels like he's going to be someone you can trust a little bit more. Maybe Richie turns it around completely. I will be stunned if he wrestles against Arizona State. I just think that's too weird. Mm-hmm. And just like for Richie, I don't know. And I think Ronnie's probably the guy moving forward. But that's not any inside information either. I'm just saying.
Well, the thing that Richie's never, I shouldn't say never, he had it at 125, but the thing that Richie, for the last couple of years hasn't had to deal with is another guy who could potentially take the spot from him.
Yeah.
And so does that change anything? Does that motivate him? Does that, does that make a difference? That's what I want. That's what I want to know. I want to see, because if you get a fully locked in and motivated Richie Figueroa, that's still really valuable to have. But right now, Ronnie looks too good.
Yeah, he looks good. He looks like he can really wrestle.
It's hard because if Jax is going to be there, and if he's like killing it in the room, and maybe Ronnie is a fringe All-American, and you're like, man, we got this guy. He's here. We can start him now. He could win an NCAA title now. I feel like it's going to be hard for even Jax to just be around the team and say, no, I'm going to wait a year. Because like, I think the narrative too is we don't know if he's going to be healthy. Like, if a guy's going to be healthy in 4 years, what's 5 years going to do, of college to a guy's body. So like, there's both sides of it. You could say like, man, he's ready to go now, use him now, because you don't know what the next 3 or 4 years are going to hold. But in 4 years, is Oklahoma State going to be better positioned to beat Penn State than they are this year? So like, you kind of got to weigh both those things at the same time.
Yeah, Penn State, I just don't see them getting run down this year. They've got 8 very reasonable NCAA finalists on their team. I just,
It's a lot of bullets.
they've got
chamber.
Even, a 49 is going to be a challenge for Oklahoma State. Swiderski, I don't know confidence or what it is, but don't be surprised at all if you don't see. I think it's clear now. I think there was talks of taking Jamison coming back down to 141. Sergio Vega is undeniable at this point. He's ranked number 2. He just majored Brock Hardy. He beat Nasir Bailey. He beat Ryan Jack. You got to go with him. So, I think Tegan, who's huge, 49, and maybe he battles Swiderski for that spot. I think that makes sense. 57 and 65, you're good. Facundo, we'll see. He did beat Minto with the head scissors. But, man, 74 is deep, and Facundo really experienced that. Now, I think he can get better. I think there's a lot of guys there that he can beat, but I'm not sure about him. Ryder had a really tough weekend.
That's what was crazy about this event was it's like if you took the top 4 guys and put them in a round robin, someone most likely is going 0-4. And you saw stuff like that because the top teams were all there. And so some of these weight classes, some of the way the bracket worked out, you got a guy that saw 3 or 4 top 10 guys in one weekend. It's gnarly.
Yeah, he lost. I mean, Singleton's kind of a quiet guy that looked really good this weekend. I thought he looks just really powerful and just kind of good from everywhere at 74. Yeah, Ryder, I mean, I think better days coming for Ryder. But, it's hard to put him in the top 4 right now after that weekend. Same for Merrill. Looks like going to be in a round of 12 match. Might win it, might not. Doucette, we're still learning more about, right? Wrestled AJ, tough. Didn't get up to wrestle Keeter. Got a forfeit there. So didn't get to wrestle Trumbull either. So we're still learning about Doucette. So all that to say, I've always said David Taylor is going to wrestle his best lineup every single year.
Yeah.
Now, does that extend to the high school ranks? We'll find that out. I don't think it's necessary. Also, you have Ronnie Ramirez on your team. If he's not starting this year, when does he start? Because you got Rainey's coming in, you've got Jax, you've got this is going to be a fun puzzle to watch. We talk about the puzzle that Coach Cale Sanderson's putting together for his guys. How are you going to fit Hinkle and all these dudes? And they find a way for the most part. Sometimes there's really good guys on the outside, likely Connor Mirasola. But now David's going to be in a similar situation with these lightweights.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about that roster. And I don't know, I spent a lot of my time in the high school world, and it's like Tegan Jamison, Casey Swiderski was a Fargo final. And now, here they could be battling it out. Braden Thompson and Zach Ryder was a who's number 1 match, wasn't it? And those guys, who knows what's going to happen there. So it seems like Ryder in pole position, but yeah, it's going to be fun. The further down the road we get with Oklahoma State, just to see what they're going to do.
Yeah.
There are a lot of other odds and ends that are on this doc here that happened at the National Duals Invitational. People might not know about. Anything you guys want to dive into?
Yeah, well, I think there's a bunch here. So Leo DeLuca wrestled. He wrestled 1 match. He won 2-0 against Matt Mauger, who's tough. Got injured, and I think that's why we didn't see him the rest of the weekend. Looked like his knee locked up. I don't think it's something major. There's a bunch of little things. I was like, oh, this happened? Like, I didn't realize Coy Hopke beat Wyatt Volker.
Yeah.
That's a really nice win. Hopke now, I think he should be the guy, but they were giving Daber the nod.
Well, that was the other weird thing was Hopke majored Jim Mullen a couple weeks ago at the Southeast Open. So then in the duel between Minnesota and Virginia Tech, Minnesota threw out Bennett Tabor.
Yeah.
He lost to Jim Mullen, but then they wrestled him again. They threw Tabor out again, and this time Tabor beat Jim Mullen. So it's like, what's going on there?
I wonder if now this may be like way too like analytical. Not that they're not analytical, but no, Hopke can't get another win over Jim Mullen for the NCAA seeding stuff. So maybe are you like, all right, let's have both guys have a win over a pretty good guy, and then as we're making decisions, because I remember for Coach Smith, what was it? It was Hawks and Whiting. And they ultimately went with Hawks basically because he's the guy that had the wins that were going to help him most for seeding, even though it was basically dead even. So now if they both have it, it's like one less thing to consider. Also, you prevent Mullen from getting the win over Hopke, if he would even get it. I don't know. I don't know the reason. Or is it just because Tabor won the tournament last, so Tabor's our starter right now? But then they went with Hopke against Volker. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they got two good options at heavyweight. But that's notable. AJ Major, Tay Gadali.
Sheesh.
We already mentioned the Mullen split with Tabor, but he also beat Luke Luffman and Christian Carroll. So a pretty good weekend for Jimmy Mullen after
Southeast Open, not the best.
Was rough.
Luffman looked really good this tournament too. So for Mullen to get that win is very good.
Very notable. Brock Mantanona beats Silas Allred, then teched by Aiden Sinclair. Aiden Sinclair, certified bad boy. He beat, of course, Max McAnally. Chris Moore, another name to maybe keep your eye on. I was not super on my radar coming into this. Beat Ryland Rogers, Major Jaden Bullock. His only loss was a pretty close one to someone really good.
Yeah, how about Illinois? Just getting so many,
they're just tough,
solid, up and down. It wasn't always the case, and Poeta's team is really coming together now.
Yeah, Kenan Webster looks like a savage right now.
Yeah.
So good. They also have Colin Kelly at 174.
Yeah, he's another one I have on here.
He's tough. Yeah.
I think Chris Moore, didn't he qualify a couple years ago?
At 165.
And then now
he's redshirted. Now he's up at 184. He looks good.
Looks good.
Mm-hmm. Dylan Gilcher for Michigan at 65, 3-0, beat Max Mayfield and
Nico Ruiz.
Yeah.
Gilcher. Crazy.
So he's good. Brignola pinned by LJ Araujo, but he beat Braden Scholes and Ruiz. Tough one for Ruiz as it.
Yeah, that's one of those where you just see tough guys, top 10 guys, and sometimes you don't get the wins. It doesn't mean you're no longer in that range.
Ryan Burton looks really good to me, beating Andrew Sparks and Will Denny. OT lost to Scholes.
You can catch Burton and Mac Church at the PRTC Keystone Classic. They're going to be both. They're 1 and 2 seeds, so that could decide that starting spot.
Yeah, Burton's still technically in red shirt if they want to use it, but who knows what they're going to do with him. Also want to mention Will Denny beat Ryder Downey. So Denny took some lumps, but that's a really good win for a true freshman, Will Denny, who seems ready to go. Noah Ninninger, who weighed in at 49, beat Jackson Arrington at 157. This match was crazy. Arrington cuts him to push for bonus. This is kind of the beauty of the three-point takedown. Ninninger hits 2 sucker drags for 2 different takedowns to beat him at the very end. It was a crazy finish. Noah Ninninger, really tough guy. True freshman also for the Hokies. And then Coy Biskins, a quiet 3-0, beating Swiderski, Caleb Rachi, and Colin Guy. He's good. That guy is really, really hard to take down. Crazy hips and knees. He's good.
Yeah, this is what was so cool about this event is you slide in these a Ninninger, a Biskins, and you're like, oh, these guys they're guys too. They got, what's the best way? It's a cliche, grow the sport. What's the coolest thing about wrestling is when the best guys wrestle each other. Mm-hmm. And this brought a lot of that happening to where those type of results where guys are coming out of nowhere, or not nowhere, but, true freshmen are establishing themselves. And it's down on the radar because so many other awesome things happen.
Yeah, that was another cool thing about this. Like all the miserable cynics online, they're like, this match, this isn't going to happen. Sinclair Ferrari's not going to happen, blah, blah, blah. Like, you guys, listen, and we've been burnt by this at times, but I think the ducking narrative is like definitely overplayed. Yeah. And I was really pleased with how the coaches they wrestled their guys. Mm-hmm. They were available. They wrestled. So yeah, that was a great.
In the list of things that, people might not have realized that happened, NC State versus Virginia Tech is like one of the coolest dual meets you can watch on the calendar. And it was in the consolation round.
Yeah.
I mean, that was so fun. I mean, just unbelievable that we got to see that. And, you've already mentioned a couple of the individual match results, but how unreal for this event.
That's the ACC marquee matchup every year.
And that was to get into the money. That was like, you're either going to place or not based on if you win this duel. So that was really cool to see.
Very cool. That was it was a fun duel to call.
Any Nebraska thoughts coming out of this?
No, I mean, Antrell, listen, we talked about this. He was ranked number 1, rightfully so. But he was never going to run the gauntlet this year. No one thought that was going to happen. Did I think he was going to lose to Logan Brzezinski? No. But I think there was going to be a little regression there. Antrell's still good enough to win a title when the time comes. Brandon Cannon is absolutely on fire. That guy can wrestle from everywhere. He's someone that is going to garner a lot of attention in future matchups. So something to monitor, like, all right, how do people decide to wrestle Cannon? Stop going under him. That'd be a little piece of Coach Christian advice. Be careful in the scrambles. He's going to be a tough guy to beat. So, he's still good enough to win a title, but he's rightfully ranked 5th right now. AJ Ferrari can win a national title. He's down at 3 because he lost to Feldman. McDaniel, Allred were both 50-50 All-American type of guys. So they're wrestling kind of like that. 25, we knew they were going to be battling there. I think they have 2 good guys. I don't think they have an All-American between either of them. Van D didn't really wrestle. He wrestled 1 match, and then they didn't use him anymore. So you kind of throw those results out. Brock Hardy,
wrestled Mendez really tough.
0 concerns with Brock. Yeah. I think he wrestled a guy that's like, oh my gosh, I can't just let someone in on my legs because he'll crack me down and finish every single time. And this kid is an amazing scrambler. I think it was one of those momentum things, like Hardy coming off a tough loss. Vega, thing to look at, Vega barely beats Nasir. He's bouncing on a single leg that would beat him, and he, weird knee, gets on the shot. Vega's finishing ability is insane. Like, he's like not in deep, and then he can pop his head to outside crackdown. He's definitely special. Brock Hardy can get that match back. Do not be confused and think, oh, Vega definitely better than this guy. But then again, he could beat him again for sure. 49, they're going to be better there once they have Chance Lamer. 57, we talked about. 65, Araujo's good. I think he's hurt though, right? Because he didn't end up wrestling against, I forget who. I don't think he wrestled against D. Maybe he did. It's all running together a little bit for me. 74, who they got? Help me out. Minto. Minto's going to be... Minto did fine. He went 2-2. He lost to 2 really good guys. So no major alarm bells going off. This was everything that happened is kind of like within the realm of reality. You throw out Antrell and Hardy lost. Those are really good guys. So.
Yeah, it's definitely not panic season. It's a long season, and sometimes you have to take these lumps and get over them and get back in the room. And Manning and Snyder and Tervel, they'll have them all where they need to be when they need to be there.
Yep.
We could talk about this forever. We do have a weekend of wrestling coming up. I do want to share one last National Duals thought that's just been floating around in my head. I think about Jesse Mendez freshman year, and it was the Michigan State Open, and it was Lucas Bird, and he got that win, and then wouldn't you know it, that's the blood round match at the end of the season.
Right.
And so Lucas Bird and Jesse Mendez are linked, and it was kind of like this defining moment for Mendez. And now we got Ben Davino. And the guy that we haven't seen him against, who would it be? It's Lucas Bird. I can't wait. It's one of those things that I'm super excited about.
For sure.
Yeah, that's just the National Duals Invitational setting up all these storylines.
I think Ben Davino set up a lot of can't wait for this match. I mean, the Blaze talk. Ooh, excited for that one. I think that's a competitive match. I think Blaze may still be favored there, but his last folk style loss is to Ben Davino. Davino's certainly special.
Yeah. Speaking of special, this weekend, PJ Duke going to be wrestling. Yes. What do you think we're going to learn about him at the old Black Knight Invitational?
I think we're going to learn he's going to be their starter for this year, which we've been talking about for a while. I think he's going to dominate. I think people are going to be excited to watch PJ Duke. He's one of those guys is going to become household wrestling name. If he's not already, he probably should be. He was our world team rep. He beat Yanni. And I think people are going to be looking to see how dominant he is. And fair or not, right or wrong, everyone's going to be talking Rabadoo Duke for a while now. And it's worth noting that they wrestled 3 times this spring in freestyle, and it was not close. And PJ won all 3 of those. But right now, Landon looks like he is emerging. So I think those two are going to be compared for, a while now. I'm excited for that matchup. I'm not writing off Landon, but I still feel like PJ is the class of 157, and he hasn't even wrestled a match. That's just what I believe.
Kozak, it looks like you got the Black Knight Invitational ranked entries pulled up. Who are some
We don't
guys
have
that-
entries yet.
We don't have entries?
Don't have entries. These are just the teams.
Oh, the teams that are there. So
that are
based
there
on
and
who
their wrestlers.
Who could be there?
So
Kozak?
Chittum,
Well, Chittum could, but I don't think he hasn't been wrestling.
now would be the time.
Now would be, yeah, right. I don't think we're going to see him. So really, there's just Burgess and Antonio. So PJ Duke, he could be ranked top 30 after this week. Big week for PJ.
Big jump.
Yeah, big jump. And that's my favorite time of the year. This is my favorite time of the year when we have these huge, freshmen coming in and everybody's upset that they're not ranked yet.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
all my answer is just be patient.
Yeah.
Everything's going to be okay.
Well, and it's happening faster than it has in the past. Normally, like, you have to wait till CKLV to get all
Right.
the new table setting, but now we've had most of the table.
It took D Lockett 2 weeks to be ranked second in America, and
Yeah.
Landon Rabidou.
I know, man.
They didn't even wrestle in the All Star.
That's crazy.
So it's like, it's totally schedule dependent. So if you don't wrestle, I mean, we talked about with them.
I think the most hilarious take is I kind of understand because wrestling fans are emotional, but when they see those rankings, they're like, what's even the point of doing rankings until it's to the end of the season? Like, don't even do them. And it's like, no, that's not better than
That's a good
no rankings.
It's a very thoughtful idea.
That's going to make me do them even harder.
Yeah. Now John's going to have more rankings just for you. He's
Yeah.
going to rank all 81 of them. Or
That's
whatever.
right. Oh, man, that would be terrible.
Yeah.
would
But it's just have some patience and you learn some stuff and it's better than no information. So everybody just chill.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Any
my take.
any matchups at the Black Knight, Kozak, that could be exciting?
It's gonna be good to watch Penn State wrestle. I think
Yeah.
we'll see all their guys. There's some other good duels, right? We got Arizona State, Oklahoma State,
We got more Larkins.
Larkins. Listen, been driving the train for over a year now, and now it looks like a good train to be on, a locomotive, in fact. Will we see Caleb Larkin versus Swiderski? I don't know. That's going to be a really tough matchup for Casey if they do it. But I'm excited for that match, that's for sure.
Manville Pearson at number 31. That's a little deceptive because he's still, working his way up the rankings.
Love
That's-
Manville Pearson.
Yeah, Manville, Pearson.
Yeah, that's how we have to say. That's the AP style.
Put your thing down, flip it, and reverse it. You get Pearson, Manville, and Vega. That's a cool match.
Yes, it is a cool one.
How good did Caleb Larkin look against Lachlan McNeil?
Looks unbelievable.
Yeah.
Looks like a national champion. I mean, him versus Van Ness. We'll learn a lot in this Swiderski match, but yeah, I can't wait to see how Caleb is just a different. He's his own mold, kind of in how he wrestles. He's very, I think, Kozak, you were saying, is just like describing like just super patient. He's kind of waiting, feeling you out, and then he's figuring things out, and then it gets bad quick.
We are going to have our guy Tyler Meisinger on the ground
Yes.
at Arizona State, Oklahoma State, and I mean, we got some wrestling questions that need answered. But what I really want to know is, can we get a Larkin style hair dye on Tyler? And I
That's
think
got to be part of it.
I think it's possible.
I mean, he already goes blonde,
Yep.
so why not get some tasteful, some classy leopard spots?
Yeah.
But here's the thing: he's got a lovely woman, and now it's holiday season, Thanksgiving coming up. Does she want the leopard prints and all their Thanksgiving and Christmas memories?
I mean,
We're gonna learn a lot about Haley this
We
week.
gave her such a hard time because Tyler had to check to see if he could go this weekend because it was kind of like a last minute. We're like, check with the old ball and chain.
He said ball and chain.
he said that, not us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then we all did also say
Okay,
it.
well,
yeah,
He said it first.
with his permission.
Yeah.
Poor Haley.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
here's
can call her his old lady, although I thought about it. I think
the
that's
thing.
a funny thing to call her.
Tyler. He keeps the hair real short, so you get a couple leopard spots, and we got what? Couple weeks? You're good.
Couple weeks, you're
good by
leopard
Christmas.
free.
You're good by Christmas.
That's true. Go for it.
Yeah.
Tyler, no pressure, but if you don't do it, you are a coward.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's up for it.
He's up for it.
Yeah.
Don't be a coward, Tyler.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see who Kyler Larkin wrestles. And if it's Ronnie Ramirez, I mean, I think I favor Kyler, but that's a fun match.
It is a fun match.
Doubles of the Larkins.
Yep. So that's gonna be a fun duel. That's like the most premier matchup of the weekend, I would say.
Yeah. We got some Keystone Classic, so we could, find some things out about Virginia Tech's lineup. And
Virginia Tech,
Penn.
Rutgers,
Yep.
Penn has some nice guys. Wasilewski's like 6, I think.
Yeah,
One of the highest ranked guys.
We need
there.
to find out where
I got the pre-seeds. Pull them up.
Composto. Where's he? All points bulletin for CJ Composto. Are they just hiding him till NCAA tournament?
I don't know if
He
he's
just showed up. He just shows up at NCAAs and balls out now.
John, you can go to www.flowwrestling.org.
You put them up already?
Yeah, there's the entries and the pre-seeds.
Oh, okay.
All in
And
one article.
Composto's not in it.
No, he's not in the pre-seeds.
Got to find out what's going on with seed.
Or you
maybe
could
he's not seatable. I don't know. Just kidding. 2-time All-American.
Yeah, I think
Very
you could
seedable.
seed him.
Very seatable.
There's Wasilewski, Swisher, very tough. We
Jimmy Harrington's good.
Jimmy the Hammer Harrington of Harvard.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I don't know how Virginia Tech is what they're gonna do. Like 49, 57, 65. I still think that's super up in the air.
Conway F&M and Cartagena Walsh of Rutgers. That'll be a good one if they meet.
Yeah.
in the
How
final.
about this Jimmy
matchup.
Mullen Hunter Katka 1-2 seed?
Yeah,
That's wild.
Geico wins that one. It's be like, dang.
big dogs.
See the
Yep.
25. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Cool.
There you go.
going to be a great weekend of wrestling action. That's kind of what we got on the docket here. We have any questions to answer before
I have a
We got so many.
question.
Hey, we're gonna have. I haven't even told you guys
Yeah,
that
special-
Sion's coming on.
special
Oh
guest?
boy.
Hoo.
So get ready.
Hey, before do you have a pair of shoes that you wanted to?
Yeah, we have a crappy pair of shoes we're gonna show.
Yeah,
you.
well, I want to tell
They're
everybody
obviously
about
not Nike.
Yeah, these are not Nikes because the Inflict 3 has been the most popular shoe in college wrestling, but after years in the lab, the all-new Inflict 4 is available now. It's lightweight, durable, and with a match-ready feel. The first time you lace them up, the best shoe in the game just got even better, and we know it's a whole lot better than another pair of shoes. But that we're a long time. This was a quest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To get these. Why don't you take it away?
Well, we do. Yeah, we do have a pretty special story to share, and this is really about the strength of the wrestling community. So let me grab these shoes here real quick.
Get it. Yeah.
All right, so look at these.
Just David.
Check out these sharks.
Shark Week here.
It's Shark
FRL.
Week. Back in 2021, we were doing an Olympic Games watch party, and we're watching Greco, and during Greco, one of the most notable things we saw in the entire tournament was the Kyrgyzstan singlets. We noticed this. There's a shark on Sharshin Bekov's singlet.
Yes.
On this landlocked Asian nation.
Nowhere near an ocean, not even a big lake in there.
So then we look at the shoes and wait a minute. Do they have sharks on the shoes? They do. They got sharks on the shoes. Biggs brand shoes. Biggs sharks. And from then on, it was like my mission. Like, I got to get myself a pair of these Biggs shoes. So I went to the Biggs Instagram account and I started following them, sent them DMs. Hey, how do I get? And they actually wouldn't accept DMs, so I had to send them a message in WhatsApp. Google Translate. I'm trying to figure out how to get these shoes. Can't do it. So then, like maybe a year after that or two, I don't know if it was FRL or another watch party, we're talking about my quest for the shoes. I was just resigned. I'm never going to get a pair of shark shoes. It's not going to happen. Wow, look at
this. Look at this shark singlet.
What a work of art.
That is insane looking.
Yeah.
And there's the brand next to the Kyrgyzstan flag.
The Bigzer.
So
Bigzer.
You can only get Bigzer stuff in Kyrgyzstan.
yes.
You have to travel through other countries just to get to it. You can't just hop off the boat and you're there. It's very landlocked.
That's right. So a guy, I'm going to pull up his name on Instagram because he was very, very instrumental in making this happen. But
Look at that.
That's the
Look
shoe.
at that.
That's the same as
Shark
the
on
shoe,
the
right?
hunt.
Man.
All right.
That's incredible. So our guy, Sean Ryan, a FloWrestling fan, he sent me a DM and he was like, hey, I don't live in Kyrgyzstan, but I have a friend who's from Kyrgyzstan. And if she goes back home, maybe she can help you find these shoes. So I was like, oh, that'd be great. So he connected me with her. But then I didn't hear back from her for a long, long time. I thought, you know what? It's never happening. And then this fall, she said, hey, Yulia, she said, I'm going back to Kyrgyzstan. Tell me what you need. I said, I need these Bigzer shoes. And so she tracked them down. She got the Bigzer shoes and shipped them to me. And now here we are. This is now a donation from me to the studio. We can have these in here. The problem with these shoes,
Yeah, there's a problem.
Yeah, the moral of the story.
Because every day we get to hold up these beautiful
that's the problem.
Nike Inflict 4s.
And one of the
So
things
we're spoiled by
one of the
by a
things
great
that-
shoe here.
One of the things you won't see in the Nike Inflict 4 is a seam right here, right here in the
Yeah.
middle of the shoe. And the shoes is, it's
This ensures they bust out within the first fourth use.
Yeah.
Look at this.
So
Not here.
Yeah, these are lightweight and durable
Let's
Nikes.
do a seam by seam comparison.
there's a lot, there's some extra seams here.
This is not even close.
Like the inside of this, I can't really, it's hard to see it on camera,
you
but
can kind of tell how cheap they are just by watching you move it around.
yeah, you can kind of just see what's going on here. Maybe it's because sharks have gills and they have to kind of I don't know. But
Yeah.
anyway, I would recommend these for props in studios.
Right.
100% of the time.
Yeah.
You wear them for
It's
one
great.
tournament, you might not have them for the next tournament.
Maybe wear them in the ocean when you're swimming.
You could wear them.
That's the only.
Yep. Might scare off some other small fish who have seen sharks.
That's true.
The funny thing
Be
though,
safety.
the inside, there's all these, there's really high emphasis on the design elements out here, the shark, but then the inside, nah.
What do you want? 2 patterns?
That's the ocean. That's the ocean that the shark is swimming
Do you
in.
want 2 whole, drawings?
Yeah. So anyway,
It's already on the other shoe. What do you need? You need 4?
Yeah.
real
sharks?
testament to the wrestling community, the resilience.
Seriously.
Resilience of Sean and Yulia helping us make this happen. They are no Inflict, unfortunately, but
Yeah.
not everybody can be the Inflict. And if
Shut
you're
up.
in Kyrgyzstan, maybe you pick up an Inflict and then you'll be able to out
you could
wrestle
probably
the sharks.
trade. You could probably get 20 pair of Big Sur brand shoes for 1 pair
That
of
would be a
Nike
fair
Inflict
trade.
4s.
Yeah.
If you trade those in, so
So-
you're basically a king if you travel to Kyrgyzstan with 1 pair of Nike Inflict 4s. We've been saying that for a while.
Yeah. Whenever you travel, I always keep a pair of Inflicts so that I can trade them up for, riches and all sorts of value.
Absolutely.
Suitcase full of Big Zers. But anyway, big shout out to Sean
Yeah.
and Yulia. We're pumped. And now, you know what? This is a mission accomplished. So
Yeah,
we
we did it. Yeah, I'll also say it is amazing to be partnered with Nike Wrestling. Nike Wrestling does such a great job. Nike does amazing things for the sport. AthletePS.com. Please go there, support Nike Wrestling. I mean, how cool is it to have Nike Wrestling on board supporting our show?
Got to see some Nike people, some Athlete PS folks in Tulsa. It was awesome connecting again and just talking about the future of the partnership and all the cool things that we can do together.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Pretty cool.
we got a big partnership drop coming tomorrow.
Oh, really?
With Nike. Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is really cool. I'm not going to say anything else.
So you'll see tomorrow.
This is awesome.
Okay,
That's called a
questions?
tease. Let's do it.
All right. Well, before we get to the questions on the X.com, we have a first. I have a handwritten
Wow.
questions.
Yeah.
These were delivered to me. Here you go. You can see that it's not just a blank piece of paper.
In Tulsa.
I'll also say, in this vein, everyone always asks, "How do you send these?" It's Twitter. It's how you
Twitter.
do it. So just make an account, whatever. You don't have to do anything. Just reply. That's how we aggregate them.
Or you can find us
Or-
at a tournament and hand them to me.
Yes.
And I will read them. So I'm going to give priority to the thoughtfulness.
I think we have to.
Of the note. Yeah. This is from William Wicks. He did sign it. He asks, what team that DMP'd impressed you the most at the National Duals? And then his pick was Cornell with a limited roster.
I honestly, they were kind of the story after session 1. It's like, dude, Cornell wrestled so freaking tough. Like every single match, they were outmatched against Oklahoma State, but every single one was a fight and that's something you can really tell in a dual meet, right? It's like, the matches aren't necessarily won, but I thought they looked really good, and they have some absolutely fantastic guys with Joy. Joy looks like a top 5-6 guy. You throw out that freaking Bo Bassett match, he looks unbelievable. I think that, and then but then they lost kind of bad to UNI the next round, which sort of surprised me. But yeah, I think that round 1 DNP, I would say probably of the teams that went 0-2, that was Arizona State, Wyoming, Little Rock, Cornell. I would say Cornell.
Yeah. I mean, I did think Little Rock fought hard in their opening match against Illinois, but Another team that didn't place that I thought was probably stock up on the weekend was NC State.
Yeah.
I mean,
missing
Trumbull. Biskins looked really good. I think we knew Biskins was going to be good. He looked, maybe even a little better than people thought. Singleton looks like he's taking another
finalist
step up
potentially.
Denny with a big win over Ryder Downey. I mean, it's like you're seeing these little these jumps at a bunch of different weight classes. So I thought NC State stock up. Love that.
Yeah.
I mean, Michigan was really close to beating Nebraska. 2 overtime losses, McDaniel and Bowman.
And that flips it.
And that flips it.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
We've got, hey, listen, I invited him.
Man. Oh,
Where are we going to put him?
Cyclone Sia.
Oh, my gosh. Look at this. Look at this outfit. All right. Where can he sit?
Here, you want to jump in?
Yeah, let him take space.
All right.
Sorry. Oh, you can.
You
Come
can wear
on. Have a
cycling gear.
seat.
Come on in here.
Don't worry. Kale doesn't watch this show, Sion. So, welcome, Sion Williams. Flow
And yes,
Sports.
CP actually called me this morning and invited me for the first time
You want to move that mic
Yeah,
a
move that
little
mic.
closer.
Yeah.
For the first time,
in a
well,
long time.
in a long. I definitely invited you last week, and it just didn't work out because
Okay.
Sion's got a donut empire to run as well as a Flow Sports operational empire to run.
I'm just a guy trying to get by.
That's right. And get by you actually look great today.
You look great.
That outfit actually it slaps.
Yeah.
Are you going on a date tonight? Well, that's offline.
I don't want to hear about it if you are.
Sion, you got Sion's got he's not just here to bring his wrestling insight. He's got a lot going on. Sion has been in the lab. If you wonder why Sion hasn't been on the show, he's been in the lab making some big things happen. He's got a big initiative, and he wants you to know about it so you can be a part of it.
Yeah, one of the things that we're trying to do, Flow is going to be the essential destination. We got to have all wrestling. So one of the things that, that's been lacking is high school. So I've been pushing, talking to coaches, and we're building up the high school schedule. So we got high school, Texas, Kentucky, all those high school places that said they never get any love. Here I am. We're giving you the love. You're getting the chance to stream the Flow. So if any coaches out there want to stream the Flow, no matter good, bad, if your cat and dog's wrestling in the backyard and you want to put a camera on it, we'll take it.
Okay.
I
didn't even know that part.
it's about growing wrestling, and it starts with a high school if we're going to be the essential destination.
But
I tell people if everybody always want to see the winners. Everybody want to say, oh, this kid's 100-0. But you know what? If a kid's 0-100, there's a fan out there that want to see him wrestle his 101 match and get that first win.
Man.
That's true.
So, my goal is to grow wrestling. Last year, I started pushing more with D2 and D3, and then this year is high school. And then we got the Night in America. Last year we got it off the ground. This year we got a solid high school schedule. With next year we're going to be bringing in more college. But it's all about building wrestling and giving wrestling an essential destination place of its own.
So Sion, I want to know, anybody that wants to stream on Flow,
Anybody that wants to stream on,
they can do
What
it.
do they do?
yes, first of all, they reach out to me, and one of the things we're doing is, a lot of schools goes, oh, we don't have any equipment. Well, the biggest thing that people always say is, how much does it cost? It costs you absolutely nothing to stream the Flow.
Okay.
Okay.
We hold your hands, we walk you through the whole process. It's a pretty easy thing, and then we have our new AI producer, which makes streaming even more easier for our fans out there. So if you want to stream the Flow, you want your guys to be seen. Like I said, I don't care if you're 0-100 or 100-0. We want your match. We want to grow the sport.
Okay. How can they? I'm gonna have Nikki, maybe if it's even possible, to put your email address on there. But
It's sion.williams@flowsports.tv.
Sion spelled Cyon.
Yes.
Williams spelled just normally. Okay. Well, why don't you give us a sense? How many high school teams have you got on this? How many D2, D3, NAIA squads overall have joined Flow Wrestling?
Overall, in the last, before last season, I think we only had maybe 100 matches, and then this season.
No, you got his face. Let's pull that in.
This season so far, with tournaments and everything, we've gotten about 1,000 matches that were not streaming before streaming, just in high school space, and then about 250 more on the D2, D3, and the subdivision. So a lot of schools that never stream their tournament is noticing that they have fans. Like the one thing that we've noticed is that there is fans out there, and then people want to see the action. They just didn't have the opportunity to see it before, and that's where we're doing that now, is giving every event opportunity. And one of the event that really surprised us, the Falcon Open, never streamed before. We streamed that one for the first time this year. I mean, there was a lot of fans that wanted to see that.
Yeah.
And, it was a big event.
That's great. So we're expanding that, and these programs, they can make a little money on this,
Yes.
right? How does that work?
Like I said, it costs you $0 to stream to Flow, but if you stream, we do give a 30% kickback to the schools. You could use it as your fundraiser. Hey, if you're streaming, you could actually even sell some ad inventory as long as it doesn't conflict with Flow's other advertiser. But you're sending the stream, so you could use that as a fundraiser. Sell ads and put it in your stream that you're sending to us. So we're giving you the platform to build your brand.
That's great.
With NIL nowadays, man, every kid wants to start building their brand.
Yeah.
This almost sounds too good to be true, but the reason I know it's not is because you got the Northwestern College Red Raiders on board. That's the big one.
Yeah, they had this guy that, I think we hired him at Flow that wrestled there. His coach, before I reached out to his coach, he said, man, I was reaching out to my guy that, my athlete, and he wouldn't even give me no love.
Wow.
Thank you, Sion, for helping me out.
Wow.
Look at this. We got your name and email address live on the screen. So if you're just listening, you can just pull up the video version. You can see his email. You should really be looking at Sion right now.
Yeah.
He looks like the real deal.
He does. And if they would prefer to email your donut address, what would?
Don't do that.
All right, don't do that.
Don't give.
All right, don't do that.
Do not.
No, like I said, I'm just a guy trying to make a living.
Hey, we're right there with you, brother. Okay.
Trying to get by.
Well, Sion, you've done a great job here. It's been a huge success, and we love that more people are watching wrestling. And I want to emphasize something that he already said, is that it feels like a technical thing and a challenge. Like if I think about I'm a stream thing, that's hard to do. We make sure we don't just send you here's an email, here's how you do it. We're going to walk you through the process so you understand how to live stream it. It's not as complicated. And once you know how to do it, then you know how to do it.
Yes. And for the record, I'll be at the Iowa State wrestling match. I think the last one I was at was in 2010.
Really?
You haven't been to an Iowa State match since 2010?
No, I'm going to be there. Iowa State's going to win.
Ooh.
Period. You know what? I think I'm going to do my own breakdown on that.
You can.
I'm going to do my own breakdown on
Yeah.
that this weekend. You know what? I'm going to pick them.
Okay.
Good. Well, Sion, it's always great having you on. Do you have anything else to add? National Duals.
National Duals, it was long overdue. It was everything the fans asked for. It was everything the fans needed. It was what wrestling needed. You got the top teams there, and there's a lot of surprises. I don't know how many number ones went down. A lot of those number ones got taken out by people they didn't expect to get taken out.
Right.
Oklahoma State got those freshmen that they threw out there. Well, they actually they surprised me a lot. I knew they were good, but they're way ahead of schedule. Ohio State, I never saw Ohio State beating Nebraska and Iowa, and not only beating them, but beating them in such a dominant fashion. It was eye-opening. It made for shock and awe because nobody expected that. So that's what wrestling's about.
That's right.
As Shane Sparks would say, anyone could lose on any day. I don't know, something like that. What do you always say?
Yeah.
Yep.
Any
It's
man, any
hard.
given day.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Overall, Tulsa, Oklahoma, great venue.
Yes.
Great fans. What I would have loved to see is a little more fans in the stand. We bring back such a great event. We love the fans to stay there. I know Oklahoma State didn't make the finals. A lot of their fans probably would have stayed a little longer, but overall they still stayed. But
Yeah.
if wrestling is going to grow, we need the fans to be there.
This is a weekend worth marking out.
It was like, I would say this was almost up there with the NCAA championship.
I agree.
Now, because it was good wrestling. Nobody left anything on the mat. Overtime matches, shock and awe. It was all you wanted and then some.
Amen.
I'm looking forward to next year.
Me too. I can't wait. We'll Well, Sion, thank you so much for coming on.
All right.
Welcome
Kicking me out again now.
You're welcome anytime. Hey, there it is. Email sion.williams@flowsports.tv to live stream your school. You can do it. Buffalo Gap. I want to watch the Bison.
Yeah.
Hey, people want to know what's the best donut
At Shipley's.
at Shipley's if they swing through.
Pull that picture in.
A lot of people is like, they like the Oreo chocolate chip one.
Ooh.
Just put that on the menu,
Just get you a man that can do both.
Yeah.
Look at this guy. Hey, what can you say? Hey, while you're a guy that can push. What can you say about Nike Wrestling?
Nike Wrestling, they're sponsoring Night in America, so I gotta love Nike Wrestling. They're stepping up. They're back in the sport, and they're giving like everybody who participate in the Night in America gear. They're doing a lot of big things with Flow. So Nike, we love you. I'd love you better if you start making some Jamaican colors and give me some, some colorful gear to wear around. But, yep, still love you, Nike.
Wow. In spite of all that, you still love them. That's
Yeah,
great.
last week on FloWrestling Night in America, when they were like throwing T-shirts in the stands, was those the Nike ones? Is that what they're doing?
They were Nike shirts.
That's cool.
Wow. Very cool.
And then, I'll be at the Flow. We have one last week. We have another one this week. But starting December, I'll be at all the locations throwing out gear. So I know there's a few people out there I owe some gears that I promised some gears. I've just been on the road. I'm going to get it out in the mail next week when I'm home for Thanksgiving. So there is some people I didn't forget you. Don't send me no hate emails. I will get you those gear. If I promised you gear, I'll get it to you.
He is a man of his word. We know this. Our mission at Flow is to grow wrestling every day. We're doing that. Sion's doing that. Thank you so much. Sion Williams.
All right. Thank you.
See you soon, Sion. Thank you, buddy.
All right.
All right. Job well done. We'll go back to some questions. We got one in. It was handwritten. He's back at it.
All right.
Flood his email. Stream your team.
Okay. Another handwritten one, and then we'll go to the Twitter ones.
Oh, wow.
Single best match of the weekend. Go.
Wow. What was the single best match of the weekend?
For me, it was Angelo, Aiden Sinclair.
Man,
I love that one.
That exchange they had was so good. Mm-hmm. Both I felt like had the other dead to rights and couldn't score. Had an NCAA finals type of vibe. I don't even know. I hadn't even thought of.
And then you had AJ behind, in between both teams, like coaching Angelo.
This is great.
It was a very unique experience. It was awesome.
Yeah, I don't know what the best single match was.
The two best that I had the opportunity to call were either Mendez Hardy, that was super fun, or Ferrari Feldman was another really good one. It's kind of odd because AJ had kind of the head issue there, but just the way that both guys approached that match, and a heavyweight bout with that many shots, and like both guys trying to like run through each other's faces. Those two matches were great.
I really liked. I love when there's just like an added tension or some other element, like the craziness of Lockett Caliendo with the challenges and the coaches' antics and coming to the table and all that. I like how all that stuff contributes to the match. So it's not just the wrestling on the mat. I thought Caliendo showed a crazy elusivity for some of the takedowns he stopped. And then even with the one he gave up, like the fact that he was able to almost stop that one, that to me was a crazy, crazy match. So probably that one.
Yeah, what you guys said was all amazing matches. I just liked 9 a.m. on Saturday, and the place was full of energy, and the Oklahoma State fans showing out for the Cowboys. So just every time Oklahoma State was out there, it was fun.
Cool. All right, questions.
All right, biggest stock up, stock down after this weekend. This is from Grady Hamilton.
Man, the stock down hurts, but Richie, that was tough.
Zack Ryder was one where you feel like coming into this maybe title contender, and now I don't know. What is it?
Yeah, I don't know. I think he could definitely still All-American. I'm not gonna, maybe maybe overreacted to the Jackson thing, and now we shouldn't overreact to a tough weekend. Mm-hmm. I think stock up, Divino, Vega.
Yeah.
I mean, Sergio Vega went from unranked to number 2.
It's Vega for me.
Yeah. Well, yes.
Because I think I already sort of perceived Divino as being.
Yes.
I didn't think he was going to take Drake Ayala down 3 times.
That was a match we thought he could win.
Could win. And I don't think I thought Sergio was ready to do that to Brock Hardy.
Yeah.
And Dean definitely.
Yes.
Showed all of us that, like you said earlier, there's not a ton of evidence out there, not a lot of results. So, I think it was prudent to be a little cautious on, projecting how he would do. But he went out there, what was it, 3 ranked wins, 2 ranked wins, and 3 tough guys, something like that? Yeah.
All right, Kevin Boyle, your honest take on Paddy Gallagher loss in OT. Yes, I know what the rule book says. What's your take?
Well, I have said the day they hit publish on this rule that this rule is stupid. And it has been stupid for, I would say, 10 years now. Because of situations like this with the incredible ambiguity and inconsistency where we see edge stalling called. I take exception with the push stall being called. I think so. That's what they're talking about. Paddy Gallagher versus Paddy Gallagher, Andrew Sparks. Paddy, first off, he got a takedown as time expired, called 3 on the mat. They reviewed it, wiped it to send it into overtime. Then Paddy is pressuring Sparks out of bounds, and they hit Paddy for the push stall, and he loses the match in overtime. Now, that is bad for a lot of reasons. I don't think you make that call in that situation. Just understanding, and I had talked to so many officials that say in that situation, not about this specifically, but like the context of the timing of it matter, right? And I think that's just not the call you make there. But 2, you know how in top-bottom wrestling, you can have a guy underneath that is actually doing everything they can, but they're being so dominated on top that if they're flattened out and they can't build up and the guy's out to the side, even though they're trying, they still get hit for stalling. That same sort of thought and application should be utilized here. If you push a guy out of bounds, drive him out of bounds, it doesn't matter that guy is maybe trying to circle back in and can't. He's being dominated to the point he can't stay on the mat. He should be hit for stalling. Or worst case, go action there. You're just handing the guy a win you're handing a guy to win. How did he get to the edge? He got pressured to the edge. And so, no. So now I got to let him circle back in so I can back him back. The whole rule is dumb, and it always has been. And it creates more confusion and inconsistency. It puts refs in a tough spot. It puts wrestlers in a brutal spot where the guy thinks he's doing the thing he should do, and he doesn't. That match, not good. Bad officiating from good officials.
I agree with everything you said about the call. I thought that the way Paddy wrestled that match was awesome. Like I thought he put a ton of pressure on. But I mean, you when you think about how a call is made, it's not like precedent is what you necessarily should be thinking about. But that calling it that way, it just doesn't happen. Like you look for an official to call stalling on the guy that's pushing with already having a stall call in that situation to end the match. You won't find it anywhere.
One of the questions from last week before the National Duels was, are we going to see more penalty points because coaches are going to be that much more amped up because of the money on the line or whatever? And it was kind of a jokey question. But you can check the box scores. A point was deducted for control of mat for Ohio State there. But I think one of the more justified penalty points you're going to find for any coaches, it's how do you fault the coaches for blowing their stack on something like that?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, John F. He asks for JD, but I'm going to take this one.
Yeah.
Was this the hardest ranking week ever for Flo? So many high-profile matches. How did you weight those that wrestled 4 or 5 versus those that only wrestled 1? Had to be a long night and a lot of discussions. Yeah, this was tough. And normally you don't see this till like CKLV.
Right.
So it was kind of crazy being the third week of the year. But we did try to reward people that wrestled. So like at 157, we removed Meyer Shapiro because he's not going to be there until second semester. At heavyweight, we bumped down Isaac Trumbull, and he could have slid into the number 1 spot. But Surprisingly, we've gotten a bunch of feedback and all positive. Everybody says we did. Everyone said we did, just the perfect job.
So another perfect set of rankings.
They
Flo.
said, "Man, we don't know how you do it every week, but it's perfect." And so we're just gonna keep riding that. But no, in all seriousness, we do appreciate feedback, especially in a week like this where there's so much going on, and we have to turn it around in a day. We'll miss things, and so. We always appreciate feedback, and changed one ranking early Monday morning after it published based off of an email I got. So not above taking the feedback.
You can be bullied into changing the rankings is what I'm hearing.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. All right. Michael Brown, applaud Merrill for continuing to wrestle after Indian hurt him. He could have easily stayed down, and Oklahoma State probably wins the duel. My question is there any concern about too much money in the duels affecting the authenticity of the event?
No. I mean,
Too much money.
The money was present. Wrestlers are going to still be wrestlers at the end of the day. And Cody Merrill is someone, and that staff and every staff, they don't want to win that way. And yeah, he could have stayed down and not wrestled. That's such a rare thing that happens in the sport, where they could go and they stay down. You see that maybe in high school a little bit more. They're going to wrestle. They're not going to want to win it that way. And really, it sends a message to, what does that tell Cody? If you say, hey, stay down, you may not win, and then we'll just win automatically. Like, no, that's not what you do. They could have done that in there was another, it might have been for Tech, NC State, or Oklahoma State, NC State. I can't recall. There was a situation there with an illegal, and the guy kept wrestling. So, yeah, and it was, I'm not worried about that at all.
Okay. I like this question from it's David 205. After seeing Okie State fall this past weekend, is CP still Cowboy Christian?
Well, I never gave myself that designation. It's you guys. There's a guy on YouTube that says I actually say nice things about Oklahoma State, but I actually hate them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
that was one of his theories.
There was also a guy on YouTube saying that you developed the Oklahoma accent during the duels.
I don't think that's true. I'm not one of those guys.
Ardell might have passed you one. I don't know.
Ooh, boy, I don't know what to tell you about that.
Just absorbed through osmosis.
Yeah, well, man, how Hardell's the man. That was fun. No, I'm not Cowboy Christian. I do love my time up there. I love seeing what Coach Taylor's doing. It's hard to not be really excited about that, but yeah, no, nothing's changed. I mean, there are some guys that did better than I thought they would for the Cowboys, and there are some guys that are maybe not quite where I thought they were going to be at this stage.
Okay. Daniel Dawn, if you could change one thing about the National Duals Invitational, what would it be?
Man, nothing really. Only thing I would change is what I know they're looking at. Like, I think they were just so they really wanted everything to be just unimpeachably prudent for the first year in terms of selection, and they wanted
really neutral.
They wanted an ironclad process that they could say, this is how we're picking it. Just because something this big, they really want. Now I think the selection, they're going to make subtle changes to it that I think are going to be good. You think of a team like Iowa State that was outside the process, and they couldn't be in no matter what. It's like, I think we all would understand that Iowa State is a top 16 and then some team this year. That is a team that could have won the National Duals Invitational, right? So I think they know that, and in the years to come, I think they're going to look at it like, all right, similar process, but maybe a couple tweaks to make sure if there is an Iowa State type of team that's on the outside, maybe they can get in, right? So that's one thing, but I mean, the takedown thing was so cool.
Yeah.
The takedown bonus, which they kind of, they just injected more money into the event, but teams were going for that. Like Ohio State was going for that. And you wonder if it's like, well, is it because they're just really good? Mendez was like, no, that was on my mind, right? I was thinking about, I got to get a quick takedown. So I thought that was great.
You know what I wouldn't change? the catering for this is inside.
Oh my gosh.
The NCAA could learn a thing or two from the spread that they had for all of the table workers and the everybody that was working there, including media. We got to indulge in some really nice catering.
That's really Big J stuff there because Big J's love to like. This is not enough food. This is so.
Well, going to NCAA's and being in the overflow area where you're not even in the down on the floor, you're up in the crow's nest or whatever. They don't even have coffee up there. They don't have water. You gotta go to the vending machine or whatever.
Yes.
So
That's why I bring a Camelback.
yeah, I'm not crying about it. It's fine. It's still a great gig. I'm thankful for it. But they really took care of everything there in the hospitality room.
All right. Next question from Baby Brands. Can you explain Ono's eligibility and why he doesn't get 5 dates to wrestle this season? Since he never wrestled for an NCAA program, why wouldn't he get treated like a freshman?
Because whatever he did in Japan as a student counted as years for him is my basic understanding of it.
That would make sense.
Yeah, so he gets a red shirt in a year. I don't know the exact reasons why. I kind of don't disagree. Yeah.
All right. Not a wrestler. How are the viewership numbers for NDI and Flow?
Freaking amazing. Most watched event in wrestling history, Flow wrestling history, maybe wrestling history. No, but like insane viewership for it, and really the overall the social reach that we have at Flow Wrestling is like no other.
We streamed a duel every round on YouTube.
Yeah, we did that, but then no other entity can come close to our reach on social with 34 million impressions and 30 million video views. That's just unprecedented, and you can't get that with ESPN anywhere else.
Yeah.
I actually, like, within 3 minutes of that question, just got a graphic sent to me that we're going to be posting this afternoon with a bunch of that information and those numbers. So
Yeah.
keep it locked. 3 p.m. Central. If you love graphics about numbers,
Oh yeah.
you're gonna get
Graphic
one.
drop.
You're gonna
Set your
get one.
alerts.
Yep.
Set your alerts now.
Yep. So no, it was incredible. The viewership, the feedback, all of it was
Yeah.
awesome.
All right. How late are we allowed to go today?
I don't know. Not too much longer because I have to do I have to do something like right now.
I gotta use the
Do
bathroom.
we have anything else?
Okay.
I'm in another shoot.
Wrestling Nerd, wow. Wrestling Nerd asks, can you share some examples of the more outrageous, out-of-pocket, or otherwise hilarious mat side chirping by the coaches over the weekend?
The Espo versus Cowboy thing was the most tense. I don't remember any, like, there weren't any, I didn't hear any crazy, like, phrases, but just insane back and forth there. I mean, obviously everyone saw when Tom Brands and they all kind of came to the table in the back, they navigate the mat well. That's always fun, watching what Iowa does. But I didn't hear anything outlandish. But I was kind of always opposite the coaches. I bet our shooters probably caught some great sound bites, but I don't have them.
Yeah, being on the mic, you didn't get to hear all that stuff. But I think my favorite, like, just sort of observation, I was on a different mat, but looking over, and I think Kozak or Spay already mentioned this, but when Angelo was wrestling Aiden Sinclair and AJ Ferrari is like mat side, like just going nuts, and then the Nebraska staff was just like a little bit off the mat, just in case, just making sure. So that was pretty funny.
I did get a kick out of, I mean, he's already done it a couple times, but when AJ does the splits and Coach Manning's like, come on, like let's go. And it's like, but he's also half grinning because he knows this is what you signed up for. This is the AJ show.
Man, fun show. A lot going on this weekend on Flow. Make sure you're checking it out. We're going to be back Monday. I guess this crew, because JD's in Europe.
He's in Europe, yeah.
He's in Europe. But he's going to want to call in for that Cyhawk breakdown. So we're going to have to figure that out because we got to get his takes. Oh, and we're going to leave you. We're not actually leaving. We have a pre-recorded
Past
segment
selves.
where we did on Tuesday where we're going to break down have JD and I pick them for the Arizona State, Oklahoma State dual meet. So definitely want that.
And he's going to teleport into
We should also mention Iowa's wrestling Pitt this weekend, which means Dean versus Stout. It's another big test for Masoma and Dean. Bet against them at your own peril. That's all I'll say. So don't leave. Thank you to Nike Wrestling. And watch this. Oklahoma State Arizona State breakdown. Thank you, guys.
All right. Before we get into this week's picks, we got to talk last week's picks.
If you want to.
Unfortunately.
If you want to. I wasn't even going to bring it up.
You know,
As you know, if you don't know, we're doing a weekly pick-em competition between JD and I, where we're doing around 10 picks. I think we've done 10 every time. And it's
We did
just
20
like,
last time.
I guess 20, yeah. Special occasion. And so you're just picking winners by most confident to least confident. So you're doing a little draft back and forth. I pick one, he picks one, and we see who has the most. And because I can't really see from here, could you let the folks at home know what the current standings are?
Oh, the current standings. Okay, so week 1 it was close, 4-3. Week 2, 5-3. Week 3 it was a tough one for James, 7-4. So total picks, Christian's leading 16-10. But I mean, things can change fast here. Christian got 3.
16-10 on me, yeah.
Yeah, so we can get
People can change.
yeah.
JD could just get better at picking.
I might have to retire from this show.
No.
Not even
So
just
the whole
this
show.
segment.
Is this a loser leaves town competition?
Okay, so this past week we did Iowa, Oklahoma State, and Nebraska versus Ohio State.
Yes.
And my first 2 confidence picks both lost.
Well, my first one did too. My first pick overall was Cody Merrill.
Yeah. Maybe you guys are both fired.
Three of y'all's first 6 lost.
Yeah. Dang.
So, well, and Trulli got majored.
Yeah.
It was a crazy set of results. Crazy weekend. So yeah.
So I had my first confidence pick last week was Casey Swiderski.
Yeah, he didn't know.
Oh,
And I said, "Oh yeah, well I'll take Cody Merrill." whiff.
yeah.
Then I took Connor Doucette. You took Drake, which he barely won. And then Robidoux, which probably should be the first overall moving forward always. Spratley had it. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that was crazy. I want that one to be a different shade of red. It can still be wrong.
You want it to be like a lighter shade?
Yeah, because you're like,
Okay, I can do that.
I mean,
Let me see. Let me get a little creative in the lab here.
yeah, he's in the lab. And then I had this is
look at
where
these
this is what hurt JD. He was very confident in Caliendo.
I was confident in Caliendo.
You were confident in Nasir.
Like that?
Yeah, that's better. It's still wrong, but yeah, partial credit there. And I had Angelo Kennedy Davino. Anyway, this might be bad radio, but just get you guys up to speed.
Well, remember we restarted Cell 6, so that was like your first pick. It wasn't after that because we did the separate duels.
Got it.
So your first pick in that was Davino over
Shout out.
Nebraska.
Yeah,
You did both semis.
Mendez, Styles, missed on Geox because he didn't wrestle. And then I was right on Harshlow, my last pick. And you missed on AJ, Trelly, Allred, and the other one. So yeah, these are hard to pick.
These are hard to pick. That was Name
And,
Radio Live.
After years of always feeling like, oh, we need to do the lines because it's otherwise so. No, we're perfectly capable of messing up just straight up predictions. So this is great. Now we're going into week 4 or 5. 5?
Week 4.
Week 4. Okay. JD's prepared another week.
Yeah,
He gets to pick first.
Yeah.
my time to go first. We're doing Oklahoma State versus Arizona State
Okay.
this week. This goes down the 23rd in Tempe.
Yes, this should be a fun one actually.
There's some interesting matchups.
No doubt.
Right?
Where are you going?
Particularly the Larkins. I should have thought about this before we did this.
He just printed out the rosters, the
Right.
lineups.
Okay.
I can go first.
I'll go first. Give me 157 Robidoux.
Yeah.
Over Chance McClain's probably Arizona State's guy.
Yeah. That's a great pick. I had him as my second most confident, but maybe it should be my first.
I went Cardenas over him when we did Stanford, Oklahoma State. Never again.
Never again.
I'm going
Trust in you, Landon.
Spratley over Damian Moreno.
Yep.
I do worry about a load management sit here. Not that
Ooh.
David really does that, but 25-pounders.
We have established you got to go out there and get your hand raised. It's not
He's
a
got to
push.
win. He's got to win.
Yeah.
I need you, Troy. I'm counting on you. But, you
Yeah.
know, if you need the day off, it's fine. I'm confident in my picks to follow.
You've built a comfortable lead at this point, too. So
Yeah.
where it's like if his season is going to be helped by sitting, your season will manage that as well.
Yeah.
I'm looking at these next ones, and I'm like, I'm picking a winner, but there's none where I'm like,
Yeah, it's not a bad. It's
easy lock. So give me. I'm gonna go Facundo over Valencia.
like that one. That was my.
Was this a who's number one match?
Yes.
At one time? Wow.
They didn't they do a 3 or 4 man?
2020, I think. I think it was 2020. That was my number 6. I don't know if it should be my number 4, but whatever. I'm going D over Ruiz.
Yeah, I was thinking about going that one too. Nicky Ruiz is tough, but after Lockett just beat Caliendo. Like, lock it up. He's good.
Good one.
Lock it down.
Okay, my next pick. I'm debating between 2 here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go 97, Cody Merrill
Wow.
over
Max.
Achardi.
Exactly. I'm going to go with my next one. Give me the deuce is loose. Connor Doucette over David Zuba.
Wow.
I think Zuba's kind of solid, but once the deuce is loose,
He can't be tamed.
No.
He can't be put back.
no.
Okay.
All right, so you picked Merrill. Got it.
Now I'm going Sergio Vega over Pearson Manville.
Wow.
This was not my. I mean, Vega is like so undeniable, but like Pearson's good.
Pearson is very good. But after what we just witnessed from
Yeah,
Sergio, he's that dude.
These kids are crazy right now.
Pearson.
Pearson can pose some problems just because he's like a tough SOB that refuses to quit. He'll get in your face. He'll make it a dogfight.
He's not going to shoot either.
No,
He's going to stay in the ties, push you all over the place.
But
And
to
fighting.
counter that, we just saw that against Nasir Bailey.
that was an overtime match.
Overtime match.
That's what I'm saying.
I
like,
know. Well-
like Sergio can grit out those matches. He's not just doing it by majoring Brock Hardy.
Yeah.
He got tough in a close match to in a big moment when Nasir had his leg up in the air. He puts it down and then takes him down clean.
Well, question: you have Indine versus Stout here as a separate. Is that part of this?
No.
We're just gonna talk about it.
Yeah, I put it on here because I was like, if we wanted to do more, but
Okay,
we're just
cool.
going to do the 10.
All right, nice and neat. I'm gonna go since you took 41. Give me Caleb Larkin.
Yeah. I can't believe Larkin was the 8th pick.
Well,
Swiderski was the number 1 pick a week ago.
Oh.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. You just when you make the pick, it's like, all right, who's the quality of the opponent? It still exists with
That's true.
Swiderski. Still quality.
He's quality, and we still haven't seen Caleb go on like a
But yeah, everyone knows I'm on Caleb Larkin in a major way.
What he did to Lachlan McNeil was.
Yes. The guy that's pretty tough to open up.
But I guess Casey Swiderski did. We were talking about him after he wrestled Lachlan too.
to
So
a lesser degree, but yeah.
yeah.
Now, I'm going to go Zack Ryder
Yeah.
over Aziz Ansari. Fazulayev.
Fazulayev. Yeah, that's a good pick, man. I don't even know who to pick at 33. Ronnie Ramirez or Kyler Larkin?
Or Richie Figs.
I was gonna say,
Honestly, the safe pick is Arizona
Bro,
State.
you cannot pick. No, there's no way Richard Figueroa wrestles in this match.
No?
I mean, this is zero inside information. I'm just saying there's no way he's wrestling Arizona State. Are you guys crazy?
Okay.
Gonna go back there and wrestle those? Kyler?
No, Kyler's. You have to wrestle Ronnie.
But do I think Kyler beats Ronnie Ramirez? I don't know. So the reason to pick Kyler is probably like, I know he's going. He's wrestling. There is a chance Ronnie doesn't go. There's a chance Kyler's just better anyways. I don't think that's certain, right? Do you feel like you're not involved? Do you feel like it's certain that Ronnie's better?
Hey, no table talk. No table talk.
I already have my conclusion.
Well, then say your pick, and then we
Going
can talk.
Kyler.
Okay.
Okay. I would say I would have picked Ronnie.
Dang it.
But that was only because I watched Kyler wrestle Gage Botero, and Botero got out to a 6-1 lead on him. Took him down 2 times in the first period. Not easy, but got in on the legs real easy and finished.
Yeah.
Yeah, our own. I remember that match because Tyler Meisinger was like, "Oh, looks like Botero's got this one," and then he had to eat those words.
Ronnie did take Drake down.
I know.
Ultimately lost that match.
This could be a bad pick. Ronnie's for real. It's the reason it's my last pick. You know, Arizona, I'm going with the vibes a little bit, right? There's only a couple matches the Sun Devils can fork up. So I think Kyler gets it done with his big bro.
Were you doing wordplay there?
Fork up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Works up.
Never mind.
All right, so that's Oklahoma State versus Arizona State. That's our picks for the week.